If you have it in stocks, bonds, ETFs, mutual funds, annuities, all that kind of garbage, that all goes away. It just goes away. If you have it in gold, okay, there's your flip, right? Gold right now is suppressed. Stocks are and bonds and all that stuff are still nosebleed levels. That's going to flip-flop. And that gives you an opportunity to see who's going to survive this mess and convert this into those income-producing assets when they're dirt cheap like gold and silver are right now. Russia is no longer allowing the grain to flow freely. Do we think inflation is dead? We're hearing so much, soft landing, no recession, blah, 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 blah. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage. You have to think about how you are going to feed yourself, your family, and anybody else that you care about, even whether you know them or you don't know them, through this. The formulas and the patterns are always smarter than I am.
Hello, and welcome to Crypto Street, where we bring you the latest and most intriguing stories from the world of cryptocurrency, investing, and economics. Now, let's begin our enlightening discussion with Lynette Zang.
Barterability. U.S. consumer confidence raises to a 2-year high on the job market. Wow. Advanced in July to a 2-year high, bolstered by a strong job market and easing inflation. This is what they want you to believe. Of course, we've got food inflation. You can live without some things, but you can't live without food. The group's gauge of current conditions improved to the strongest level since March. Well, this is the University of Michigan's consumer confidence level. This is 2020 when the pandemic hit. I'm still seeing that consumer confidence is a whole lot lower than it was pre-pandemic level. What do you think? So they're going, whoop-de-doo, it's up a little bit. But the reality is the trend in consumer confidence is way down because a strong job market could mean, and that's shifting right now, to be honest with you, that is definitely shifting. I mean, the Fed raised all those rates. It's going to have an impact. There is a lag, and now we've just begun to feel what it's like inside of that lag. So I'm glad that consumer confidence is higher because in theory, then people will go out and spend more money. But there's just been such a huge toll on consumers' pocketbooks and via inflation. And even though inflation is easing, it doesn't reverse anything. It doesn't reverse. It's just a constantly compounding thing, which is why we only have 3 cents officially left out of the original dollar's worth of purchasing power. And that is headed toward zero. Even on the Fed graphs, there's that big fat goose egg because that's what's happened to 100% of every fiat currency. So what are you doing for barterability? All of this food is highly barterable. Silver is what I like to use for barterability the most. But anything physical, any talents you have, that's all barterable. And how are you going to preserve your wealth? This, my friends, is exactly how I preserve my wealth, right? So silver is for barterability for me. Gold is for wealth preservation because we've got a $500 billion. It is so much more than a $500 billion corporate debt storm that I can't even say. Why? Because of all of the derivative contracts, those big bets that have been made against all this $500 trillion or billion dollar debt. So this really works into the trillions and who knows, quadrillions of dollars when these things become so grand that the banks can't hide it anymore. And that could very well be coming up in our very, very near future. So we've got to pay attention to this, which obviously we are. But what do you think is going to happen to your wealth when this whole system implodes? If you have it in stocks, bonds, ETFs, mutual funds, annuities, all that kind of garbage, that all goes away. It just goes away. If you have it in gold, okay, there's your flip, right? Gold right now is suppressed. Stocks are, and bonds and all that stuff are still nosebleed levels. That's going to flip-flop. And that gives you an opportunity to see who is going to survive this mess and convert this into those income-producing assets when they're dirt cheap like gold and silver are right now. It's not hard to preserve your wealth as long as you hold it in an undervalued asset that's in a long-term positive trend. It may take a while.
Don't forget to join us as we explore the unfolding events. Let's dive into some topics and then back again to Lynette Zang. Robert Kiyosaki recommends buying silver before it's gone. Federal Reserve CBDC would threaten privacy and freedom, report warns. Over 40 heads of state will attend BRICS Summit, South Africa confirms. BRICS not focusing on creating common currency, Indian official says.
Community is arguably the most important thing that happens. Because one person can't do it all by themselves. You might think Martha Stewart does it all by herself. Some people think I do it all by myself. I can sit here and tell you, if I did not have this incredibly wonderful community around me, which you can meet all of them in the Thrivers community, if I didn't have them all around me helping me, I guarantee you I would not be this ready. Because everybody brings a different skill set, including me. We all have gifts. Our job on this planet is to share those gifts that we have been given. So that's what community is about. I'm glad to hear about that, about Singapore. And, is there some place near you where there's community gardens? I've got a treat for you. Actually, you're probably going to meet her before you even get to see this. So never mind. But it's all about community. And finally, shelter, because you've got to have a place over your head. And it's getting even harder to afford a starter home in the U.S. because first-time buyers need at least $64,500 a year, which is above the average income, to afford the average entry-level house, according to a new report. Starter homes are disappearing from the housing market, which, what does that do? Then it pushes up the price of those affordable properties. This becomes a huge issue. But again, first-time buyers need to earn at least $64,500 to afford it, but I hope you don't have any student loans or other debt, because that could kick you out of the running.
Market strategist has explained that Bitcoin appears similar to the stock market in 1930. At that time, elevated equity prices led to the stock market losing almost 90%. The crash of 1929, also called the Great Crash, contributed to the Great Depression, which lasted approximately 10 years. What's happening in the crypto market? Bitcoin rebounded from this weekend's low on Monday, as markets attempted to consolidate following recent losses. The cryptocurrency rose back above the $26,000 level, after a brief stint below this point. Ethereum also settled after declines over the weekend. That wraps up today's crypto news highlights. Stay tuned for more updates, insights, and analysis from the world of cryptocurrencies. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content.